There are many foods that we eat or don't eat that are high in protein. Today, I wanted to go over some hidden sources of protein that you might not be aware of. But I want to make sure that you know about them, so that if you're looking to eat more protein, you can start incorporating those into your diet. Some of these will surprise you because they're really common foods that you may have been eating your whole life and still do. It's a complete protein source, meaning it has all 9 essential amino acids. So for vegetarians, vegans, and anyone else trying to eat more protein from plants, this is a great option. It's especially nice because it can take on the flavor of whatever else you're re-cooking with it. Just like quinoa, it's also a complete protein source. It has a cheesy flavor that some people compare to a sharp cheddar cheese. People take nutritional yeast for a number of different reasons. Some take it for the B vitamins, which it's a good source of. Others take it for the trace minerals. And still others take it for the protein. A half cup of nutritional yeast contains 8 grams of protein. They were originally domesticated in the Fertile Crescent around 8000 BC, and they've been a staple in many cultures ever since. Lentils are high in protein and fiber, and they also a good source of iron and other important minerals. The best way to cook lentils is to rinse them off first, then put them in cold water with salt, and bring them to a boil. Once the water reaches a boil, reduce the heat and simmer until they're tender. However, if you aren't allergic to eggs, they're a great source of protein. In fact, they're considered a high-quality protein source because they contain all 9 essential amino acids. This gives it a thicker consistency than regular yogurt, and it makes it higher in protein as well. Now, there are obviously hundreds of other foods that are high in protein. And if you'd like me to go over more of them, leave a comment below. Let me know that you'd like to see another video like this one. Also, if you'd like to learn how to use any of the protein sources that I went over today to help you lose weight and improve your health. So if you're struggling to lose weight, or you just want to improve your overall health, and remember, I created a free Facebook group where you can get daily support and motivation from me and other members of our community. To join the group, all you have to do is search for the group online or click the link in the description below. Greek yogurt is a good source of calcium and other nutrients, including vitamin B6, zinc, and potassium. They're also very easy to prepare, and they're very versatile. You can scramble them, fry them, poach them, bake them in a cake, make an omelet, or even turn them into ice cream. Amaranth has a slightly nutty flavor and a soft, chewy texture. It's really easy to prepare. They're often served as a snack or appetizer, either steamed or boiled. Edamame is another complete protein source, and it's also a good source of fiber and several important minerals. This means that they keep you full for a long time. Spirulina is a blue-green algae that's often used as a dietary supplement. It's high in protein and contains a number of other nutrients as well. Chicken thighs are a great source of protein. They're also high in niacin, vitamin B6, and selenium. Like chicken thighs, salmon is also a very popular meat. But it's a bit healthier than other meats, because it's loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats can reduce inflammation in your body, which helps with things like arthritis, heart disease, and even cancer. In addition to being a great source of protein and healthy fat, salmon is also high in several vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, vitamin B12, and selenium. People take spirulina for various reasons, including weight loss, detoxification, and improved digestion. They're also a good source of complex carbohydrates, which means that they won't cause blood sugar spikes like simple carbs would. Seitan is a wheat gluten product, which means it's made by washing wheat flour with water to remove the starch, and then you're left with the protein. Some people refer to seitan as meat, wheat meat, or even tofu steaks, because it has a chewy texture similar to meat. And if you slice it up, you can actually use it to replace meat in stir-fries, or even in sandwiches. The only problem with beans is that some people have trouble digesting them. If you're one of those people, you can soak the beans overnight to reduce the oligosaccharides, which are the sugars that are hard to break down. Alternatively, you can use sprouted beans, which are easier to digest than regular beans. Just cook it like you would pasta, and then you can use it in salads, side dishes, or even in desserts. Tempeh is another soy-based protein source. Unlike tofu, it's not made from soy milk. Instead, it's made by fermenting soybeans with a mold called Rhizopus oligosporus. It has a firmer texture than tofu and a rich earthy flavor. And again, It's a complete protein source. So if you add some spices or you put it in a stir fry, it's going to absorb those flavors. First, I'm going to talk about plant-based foods that are really high in protein. Then I'll go over some non-plant-based foods that are also high in protein. In fact, a study showed that when compared to other grains, quinoa has significantly more protein per kilogram than all the other grains. And what makes quinoa especially awesome is that it's a complete protein source. However, one thing I want to mention is that quinoa can be a little bit harder to digest than other grains. So if you have sensitive guts or you have any type of digestive issue, you may want to try another grain like brown rice. Now for this list, I'm going to split it up into two categories. Of course, it's not going to be as high as quinoa or any of the other options on this list, but it's still much higher in protein than white rice. So next time you're cooking rice, consider making it brown rice because you'll get a little bit more protein out of it. Starting with plants, you have tofu. This is a soy-based product that's made by curdling soy milk and then pressing it into blocks. Next is quinoa. Now you may already know that quinoa is a really good source of protein. And speaking of brown rice, did you know that it's actually a pretty decent source of protein? Another great high-protein grain is amaranth. Amaranth is an ancient grain that's packed with protein. Next up is nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is a deactivated yeast that's often used as a seasoning. Moving on, we have beans. Beans are an excellent source of plant-based protein, and they're also very high in fiber. The next food on my list is tempeh. Seitan is next. Lentils are next. Lentils are actually one of the oldest cultivated crops in the world. Next up is edamame. Edamame is simply soybeans that are picked before they're fully mature. And last on the plant-based side is spirulina. Alright, now that I've gone over all the plant-based options, let's move on to some non-plant-based high-protein foods that you might not be aware of. Eggs are a great example. Eggs are a very common food that everyone knows about, but not everyone eats them because some people are allergic to eggs. Next up is chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are becoming more popular than chicken breasts because studies show that they're less likely to be overcooked. And lastly, Greek yogurt is a dairy product that's made by straining yogurt to remove some of the water. So those are some examples of hidden sources of protein that you might not be eating. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.